The San Antonio Spurs don't get to draft Victor Wembanyama or Scoot Henderson. Would Amen Thompson be the guy you want the Spurs to draft?
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. By the way, is it Amen Thompson or Amen Thompson? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, saw a nice little report here from SpursTalk.com that I want to share with you. Give my 2 cents on Amen Thompson. Seems like maybe a high reward, but also some high risk with this player. So if we were to draft third or fourth or fifth, is this a player you guys would want? Let me know in the comments down below. Hit that thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Fast, fun, free, nutritious, and delicious. And subscribe for more Spurs content. So let's get into this. Who is Amen Thompson and what does he do? Well, he's one of the most mysterious, intriguing prospects in this year's draft. The San Antonio Spurs in need of a dominant, franchise-altering linchpin. His tantalizing upside will be impossible for the organization to ignore. Okay? Let's hit a little more. The last 2 seasons, Amen Thompson played in the Overtime Elite with TSR Thompson, his twin brother. If you didn't know, Overtime Elite is a basketball league that is based in Atlanta and was created to give high school basketball players the option of going pro at an earlier age while preparing for the NBA draft. Fair enough. So instead of going to college, they're going there. What are Mr. Thompson's strengths? Well, he isn't just the most athletic player in the draft. There's a case to be made that he'll instantaneously become the most athletic player in the NBA once his rookie season commences. Say, what? Wow, I haven't seen him play, but something tells me he can move with a basketball. He's blindingly fast, a great leaper, lateral quickness is elite, his agility is otherworldly, and his cuts are shockingly explosive. Dang, sounds like an elite running back reading some of that. So that's stuff to get excited about. Not only is Thompson athletic, he's a legit 6'7" and knows how to use his size and length. He has a very high basketball IQ. He has playmaking ability. He handles the ball well, sees the floor from sideline to sideline, and can deliver pinpoint passes in a variety of ways. And ultimately, they think he'll be a point guard. Well, 6'7" point guard would certainly be a size increase over our last few, i.e., Trey Jones and DeJounte Murray. So there's a lot to be excited about here right now. Also, there's good thoughts about his defense. So outside of Victor Wembanyama, Thompson likely has the highest ceiling of any player in the draft. That's a pretty strong statement there. He has a chance to be a big go-to playmaker that a team can build around. So you guys might be thinking, based on all of that, TSR, man, Thompson sounds like a guy that we want. If we don't get Victor Wembanyama first, man, would we take him second? This sounds all good, right? Whoop, time now. What? There are some downsides and areas of concern with Amen Thompson. There's little to no proof that Thompson will ever be able to shoot a basketball outside of 15 feet. He's a poor three-point shooter, even though he was rarely guarded on jumpers in the Overtime Elite, and his free throw shooting is also poor. So at the start of this, you're thinking, all right, we'll just have to, hate to compare, but our current point guard, Trey Jones, you're thinking, all right, this guy's bigger, more explosive. This is what we're looking for. One of the big problems we have with Trey at the one spot right now as our PG is he can't shoot threes. So we're replacing a guy that can't shoot threes with a guy that can't shoot threes. None of his shots utilize the same mechanics, so he's likely going to have to start over and rebuild his shot from the ground up. That is bad. That is really bad. Okay, moving right along. A bad shooting perimeter player who hasn't faced much real competition sounds like a risky prospect. Thompson could be a franchise player, but he could also be out of the league by the end of his rookie contract. Yikes. The team that drafts Thompson has to be prepared to put in a lot of work. He needs to learn how to shoot, has to learn defensive fundamentals, and has a huge adjustment ahead of him going from crushing Overtime Elite, crash test dummies, nice, to competing against NBA players. That being said, a scout from the Western Conference, and I don't know who, it's not mentioned here, but we're going to assume this is legit. If the Spurs were to draft Thompson, he'd be the luckiest man in the draft if he gets picked by us. Well, by our team. It's us, we're a family. So final thoughts on the Spurs potentially drafting Amen Thompson and my thoughts. Spurs Talk says, if Thompson reaches his ceiling, he could be the best player on a contending team who is a perfect fit for the positionless NBA of the 2020s and beyond. The downsides of picking him are frightening. I don't remember the last top 5 pick who has such a clear and obvious path to being a bust. Spurs probably have a better read, though, on the Overtime Elite than any other team in the league due to Dominic Barlow. Barlow is the only, and I didn't realize he's the only NBA player to come out of the overtime elite. So it is possible the Spurs have the inside track and be able to translate Thompson's production to the next level. So my thoughts on this player. There's a lot to be excited about. There really is, Spurs fans. There's also some things to be a little worried about. I've already dealt with a point guard not having a three-point shot last season. Now, granted, he won't be undersized, but he can't shoot the three, can't shoot a free throw. Trey Jones can't shoot a three, but he can at least shoot a free throw. I don't know. If the Spurs draft first or second, we've already talked about this, it's Vic or likely Scoot. What position, considering this sounds like high reward, but also very high risk, Spurs fans, if we were to take Amen Thompson, and my apologies if it's Amen, again, I'm sorry, but if we take Amen Thompson, which spot would you be comfortable with them? Because I'm transparent with you guys. I don't watch a lot of college hoop, and I certainly don't watch the. I do not watch league. He's an overtime. Was it overnight ignite league? I've already forgot the damn name. That's how little overtime elite. I don't watch that at all. So those of you that have seen him play, where would you be good with him being a draft pick from us? Because there's a chance when you draft first to seventh. So if we were to draft third, do you think this would be a good pick? Or would it be a reach? Would you be happy with him at fifth? If we fall back to seventh, and this is a player like, you know what? We're drafting seventh, we've got to take a chance on him. Because it sounds like the upside is really, really there. But it's that downside. Having to rebuild your shooting mechanics from the ground up does scare me if this article is accurate. You start playing basketball at what? 5, 6, 7 years old, maybe 8, 9, 10 if you get a little later. But I think most of us start playing basketball young. And then if he's been shooting this way for a decade or significantly more, and now he's got to completely change his mechanic, can it be done? Of course. And if he's willing to put in the work, sure, it could happen. And if he comes to the Spurs, he's with a great organization that can help him rebuild those mechanics and get better. And we certainly have guys on our team that can shoot. I don't know. Me personally, my take is if we draft him, I'm going to root for him. I'll root for anybody that's putting on our uniform, and I'll have concerns and hope that the Spurs can work them out much sooner than later. Would he start right away? If you're drafting him top 5, then I would think you have to. So whatever happens, happens. Spurs fans, we find out next week where the team drafts next Tuesday. I'll be live. I don't have a streaming service right now, but I will find a streaming service to watch it, and I got to go live for that. This is the biggest night. I mean, it's bigger than the draft itself because yes, the drafts are important, but this night's going to determine if we draft first overall or later or much later. So I'll be live for that. I'll be live for the draft. Keep doing some Spurs videos. I hope for those of you that are UFC fans, hope you like the latest UFC content that's been on the channel. I've been having a blast putting up the shorts and reliving classic UFC moments. You guys know I'm a big UFC fan. You saw me put up pictures, possibly, or maybe you saw the pictures. I just went to UFC 288. Got to meet 6 UFC fighters, including UFC future Hall of Famer Frank Edgar. I also met Justin Gagey, current light heavyweight champ Jamal Hill, Corey Sandhagen. I'm forgetting somebody else. Sean O'Malley, who's going to be fighting for a title soon. So the UFC fan experience is amazing if you haven't been to it, and it is free. So if it's in your state, check it out. And all the pictures were free. They didn't charge us for pictures, which in today's day and age, that's kind of nice. But that being said, if you're a future Spur, great. If not, hey, it is what it is. I can't wait to see when we draft next week, though. It'll be either one of the greatest nights that we'll remember together since I've started this channel, or one of the most heartbreaking moments we've had on this channel. Whatever it is, though, we'll be here together, and I can't wait. I want to thank you all for tuning in, and as always, go Spurs, go!